Hey y'all, welcome to the next portion of our Spring Forward Freedom workshop. Today we'll be focusing on values, which we'll look back at that little picture that I drew, the stream, the tree, and the seasons, and then we'll do a little bit of values excavation. And I like to call it excavation because sometimes the river, which is our values, is deep down under the surface. And we need to kind of dig down to get at it and see what is it, how does it fulfill us and give us meaning in our lives. So today we'll focus on values, and let's jump in and get started. All right, as a quick reminder, our values, our character, and our mission are the stream, the tree, and the seasons of life. So we are the tree, that's our character, that's who we know us to be, ourselves to be, and who others know us to be. And our values are what we're focusing on today. This is the stream or the river that provides life, meaning, and fulfillment to us. And so we're going to look at values and do a little excavating, meaning we're going to do a quick exercise with 3 questions to discover what is our core values. What are our values that are in this river that give us meaning and life? How we do some values excavation is to start with these 3 points of life, or thinking about ourselves in a time of life. So we'll start with this kind of sentence starter. It says, think about a time in life when. So I'll ask you, if you have paper, pen, notebook, some kind of way to write these things down, you may want to do that. So that way you can kind of hang on to them and see and let them see if they fit you for, longer than just in this video. So let's start with the first one. Think about a time in life when life was uniquely rewarding. So what we're going to do here is we're going to ask, kind of like what was happening, who was there, what were the values being honored in that moment when life was uniquely rewarding, what was happening, and why was it rewarding to us? The second part is think about a time in life when life had a powerful moment of frustration. Now, frustration can be kind of the opposite of reward, right? So this is going to tell us what things weren't present that we got frustrated with that are our values. So in the big picture of the situation, what did we feel? Were we trapped or manipulated? Or was it just out of control? And then what did you feel like, or why was there frustration about that thing that was happening? Sometimes, like I said, the opposite of the frustration is the value. So for example, if we're out of control and we feel trapped, maybe freedom is our value. And lastly, think about a time in life when friends or family point out something big, excessive, or extreme. Now, we may be known for certain things, we may be, or may have moments where our values are really present. And these big times are key to understanding what meaning we have underneath, what values we have at our core. So for example, when friends or family say something like, you always blank when you're stressed. Maybe you always get quiet when you're stressed. Maybe you always take time for yourself when you're stressed. Or maybe it's something like, oh, you were kind of controlling, or you only think about the idea and ignore the practical steps. You only think about, the dream and forget how to get there. Or the opposite could be true, where you only think about the steps and not the big picture. So what are those things and phrases or, ways that our friends or family are pointing out things that are true of us and how it feels? Can be, it could be true. It can be like resonant, meaning sometimes for me, thinking about the idea and the practical steps are left aside can be true. I really love thinking about the big picture and dreaming with people and dreaming kind of with myself about what's next. So that could be one of my values, is dreaming or positivity or, the future. Now that's all fun and games, but let's go into one very specifically. How about think about a time in life when life had a powerful moment of frustration. So with this one, I can think of a time when I felt trapped. A time I felt trapped. Now, what was happening? Now, maybe for this one, felt stuck, like no one was listening. And I just remember feeling like, kind of like, couldn't figure out the way forward. I couldn't see a path forward. So what is it that when I was feeling trapped and I couldn't see a path forward, what is my value there? Now, remember when I said, people and my friends and family point out that I like seeing the future or, envisioning and dreaming about the future? Well, maybe that's my value. Maybe kind of like futurist or vision or hope is one of my values. And so when I didn't have that, frustration and anger occurred. So maybe a value is hope or future. And so now I have kind of a core value that I can think about. Does it match up with times when things were rewarding? Or does that match up of how people talk about me and point out things that are big, excessive, or extreme? And this hope and future value can be brought back to our picture. So remember, values are the river that kind of feed our character, feed and give meaning to our life, and orient us towards our mission according to the season of life that we're in. So with hope and future, if it's present, if I can feel like rooted or grounded in my hope for the future, that means I am being who I want to be and who I want others to see me as, and I am doing it appropriate to the season of life that I'm in. And let's take it one more step back to this to-do list. So with my value of hope and future, we can see that that's really closely connected to who I want to be as a character, as my character, who I want to be, and who I want others to see, especially this hope and growth, which is really future pointed, right? Future oriented. And so you can see this come right back up into how I plan my to-do list. Am I doing the things that I need to do to be full of hope and growth? Because hope and my future is part of my values, my core values. So I hope that you can take these 3 scenarios and these questions and think more deeply about you and your core values and what kind of brings you meaning and fulfillment in your life. I know we went all the way back to the to-do list, all the way back to things that happen on a day-to-day and a weekly basis. And remembering from our last session, this is, again, part of the building the compass to help you with decisions, help you with planning, and help you feel confident in your everyday life. Thanks for joining today as we excavated some values. I know I've found this really meaningful, and I hope you do too. I'm excited to hear how you use this, and so let's talk soon. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.